Experiment number 1, alien face balloons. We have a 12-inch balloon, 2 1-ounce cups, and also a marker. What you're going to do is you're going to draw an alien face onto the balloon. Doesn't matter what it looks like, just be creative. Then what you're going to do is you're going to blow up the balloon and stick these cups onto the balloon. And there you have your alien face with its new antennae. Magic ping pong ball, experiment number 2. All you need is a ping pong ball and a bendable straw. We take the straw, we undo the bend, and lift it up to an angle, a 90-degree angle. Then what we do is we put it in our mouth, and the game is to try to keep the ping pong ball up for as long as you possibly can. So we're going to blow out, put the ping pong ball up. Magic ping pong ball. Experiment number 3, Titanic index card. What we have here, index card, small plastic cup, and another cup that's just filled with water. What you're going to do is this. You're going to fill this little teeny plastic cup. It's probably like a 2-ounce, maybe a 3-ounce cup, all the way up as best as you can. Then what you're going to do is, without using any tape or electricity or magnets or anything at all, we're going to put our hand over the cup. We're going to turn it over. We're going to give it a little bit of a spin, and there is the water stuck in the cup. Titanic index card. This is experiment number 6, paper rubber band, pair of scissors, and this form right here. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to fold this form in half, and we're going to make some cuts. One cut here. We're going to cut through here. Now, there's a series of cuts on one side. We cut right down to the end. Typically 7 cuts on one side, 6 on the other. And I turn it around. And almost done. What will happen is this will act like a rubber band, and you'll be able to start it, and we are all done. And so we could actually stretch this out almost 3 feet, and you could actually put it all around your entire body. And then afterwards, you can put it right back together, just like a regular rubber band. So, right back together, paper rubber band. This is number 10, mini flashlights. We have a battery. We're using a AA battery. A small 1 light taken from a large set of maybe 100 lights. 2 pieces of masking tape. Here's all you do. You take one of the pieces of masking tape. You place it half on the battery, half off the battery. Then you do the same thing with the other piece of masking tape. To complete the circuit, we are going to take one side of this copper wire, touch the bottom of the battery, and then turn it around, and then touch this side of the battery, and we've got our little mini flashlight. This is experiment number 12, the electric Mountain Dew. We have a empty can, okay? We also have a balloon. What we're going to try to do is we're going to create some static electricity and move this balloon right here, all right? So we're going to blow up the balloon. Rub it on some item like my shirt, and watch what happens. The balloon will pick up the can and carry it in different directions. That's the electric Mountain Dew. This is experiment number 13, the dollar bill trick. You need a rubber band, 2 paper clips, and also this piece of paper that's about 6 inches long by about 1.5 inches wide. It has markings on it, a 1, a 4, a 2, and a 3. Those represent the 4 steps that really you're required to do this experiment. Number 1, there's an arrow going to the side. You're going to fold it right on that arrow, and then step number 1 also is putting this rubber band on here. Then, number 2 requires us to put a paper clip on here. Put a paper clip right on number 2, right like this. Number 3 is going to be an arrow pushing it to over here. And then lastly, we take number 4 and we put it on rubber band here. It says inside, which means we're going to put the paper clip on the outside and inside this little pocket right here. So that's our entire setup. You pull it and let's see what happens. That is the dollar bill trick. This is experiment number 14, the weird string maze. All you need is about a 5-foot length of string. First thing to do is to make a knot, tie a knot at the top of the string. So the end result is a loop through the whole thing. You are then going to do this. Place the loop over your middle 3 fingers and have your thumb and your pointer finger just hold it like this. Now, the object, and you can show others, is that there's a right way and a wrong way of doing this. I'll show you the wrong way first. We're going to try to put our hand straight through the hoop, move it around, and try to put your hand through here and actually not have it tie against your wrist. What you'd really like to do is this, and here's the answer. You're going to put your thumb down, you're going to put it in the hole, spin this around, put it through the hole, tap your hands, and automatically your hand just falls out. That's the weird string maze. This is experiment number 15, the index card puzzle. What we have is a scissor, 1 index card, and this setup right here. The setup is this. An index card has been taped to another piece of paper. It's been taped in different angles like this. This is what it looks like right now. The object is to try to figure out how to take 1 index card and cut it so that it looks exactly like that index card that's been taped onto that blue paper. So, the correct way to do it is this. There are 3 cuts. 1 in the middle. It almost looks like the letter M. So here's our 3 cuts, like this, all right? What's going to happen is this. We are going to flip this over, place it on the table, push this down, push it up, and now it looks just like that one. That's the index card puzzle. This is experiment number 16, all tied up. We have just only 1 item. It's a 3-foot length piece of string, nothing special about the string at all. The object of this all tied up is to place the ends of the strings in your hands and make a fist. And the object is really to move around and try to get a knot to appear on the string. Now, a knot on your arm doesn't count, and you can't open up your fingers at all, because if you did, it would be very, very simple to do that. You could just do that. So, the answer is this. You're going to place it down on the table so it looks like the letter N, just like a mountain. You're going to fold your arms. You're going to take your top arm and grab it, and then your bottom arm and grab it. And basically you're going to pull straight down without opening up your hands, and there is your knot. This is all tied up. This is experiment number 18, thaumatropes. What you need is a piece of paper, typically like an index card or card stock is better, and images, the opposite images. So we have here a bird and a cage, an animal and then stripes. We have a horse and an old-fashioned American Indian. Now, these images are actually over 100 years old. So what happens is this. You cut all these out, these 6 images out, but really you can do from almost any image at all. You then cut them all out, put glue on the back of them, and they have to be opposite to each other. Then you're going to take a hole puncher, let's put that right there, a hole puncher, and right where the little holes are, punch these holes. Then you're going to stick these rubber bands in, and what's going to happen is this. This is an optical illusion, and it will look like the stripes are on the animal, creating a tiger. This is a thaumatrope. This is experiment number 20, called the hole in the hand. 1 piece of paper and a piece of tape. All you do is you roll this in a tube a long way. Make sure it's straight. Put a piece of tape over it. And now, what happens is, you put it in your right hand, you look out of your right eye, you keep both eyes wide open, you take your left hand, you put your left hand at the end of the tube, and this hole right here will transfer to the back of your hand, and you'll be able to see a big hole right in the middle of your hand. That's the hole in the hand. This is experiment number 22, the flying paperclip. What we have here, 1 piece of tape, 1 paperclip, a string that's about 9 inches long, and our 2 magnets. What we're going to do is we're going to take the string, tie a small knot onto the paperclip. Then we're going to put this string down on the table. We're going to take the piece of tape, hold it down about halfway, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take these magnets, and we're going to attempt to go all the way over to the other side without touching the magnets at all. And that is the flying paperclip. This is experiment number 23, called Homemade Thunder. What we have here, 3 different things. A piece of cardstock, we write Homemade Thunder on it. It's about an 8.5-inch square piece of paper. We have a triangle with some black lines on it, about 1/2 inch from the edge of each side. And then we have about 6 inches of tape, 2 pieces of masking tape. So, step 1, put the piece of paper down, put the Homemade Thunder right here, fold over one side, then a second side, and then put a piece of tape, taping the white paper onto the blue, and then the other side. Then we're going to turn it over. We are going to fold this in half. And then we're going to hold it in our hand like this, using just our thumb and our pointer finger. And with a quick snap with your wrist, pull it down, push the white paper back in, and sounds like thunder. This is Homemade Thunder. This is experiment number 24, called Flying Helicopters. 2 different materials, a paperclip and this helicopter form. It's 5 letters, dotted lines. Cut the paper 3 different times, right over the C, right over the D, and in between the A and the B. All we do is we fold the letter C, fold the letter D, fold over the letter E, put our paperclip on the letter E, smooth it out a little bit, and now we're going to bend back the B a little bit and bend back the A a little bit. Then it becomes a helicopter. We're going to throw it around, and we're going to put our hand in the back and try to just throw it and have it go all the way down. This is experiment number 26, the hover cups. We have 2 styrofoam cups, long piece, maybe 8 inches of masking tape, and a string that's about 2 feet long. So, take these 2 cups, place them back to each other, put the masking tape on, wrap it around, right in the middle. Then we are going to place the string on the cups. So, I'm going to leave it horizontal, place the string at the top, wrap this around. 1, 2, 3. We're going to take our hand and we're going to put our 3 bottom fingers inward and keep our thumb and our pointer finger outward like this. We are going to go towards the string, grab the string with those 3 fingers, put the thumb on the bottom, pointer finger on the top, and roll it like this. At this point, we're going to throw it in the air like a baseball by looking up straight up at the ceiling or outside, straight up. And that is the hover cups. This is experiment number 27. It's called the pendulum. We have 1/2 side to a pair of sunglass lens. We have a yo-yo. Now, it requires 2 people. One person is going to take the sunglass lens and place it like this with their thumb and their pointer finger and look directly at the other person in front of them who is holding a yo-yo and spinning it side to side, side to side. I'll show you something like this. So they're going to have this yo-yo, and they are simply, the person in front of you is going to go side to side with the yo-yo. While they're doing that, this person is going to be taking their lens and looking at them, placing this one lens over their right eye. Nothing over their left eye, and they're looking at both eyes same time. And what will happen is this yo-yo will appear as an optical illusion. It will appear to become 3-dimensional and pop right out towards you, making it look or appear to look like it's turning in a circle. That's the pendulum. This is experiment number 28. It's called the balancing wand. You can use a lot of different materials, but what we have is just a plain stick and a weight at the end. As you can see, we have some masking tape around this. It was probably clay or something that we just wrapped around the bottom of this stick. So the object of this is determined whether, by trying to hold this and balance it on your hand, whether it's going to be easier to balance from the bottom of the stick or from the top of the stick. So, trying from the bottom of the stick, putting your hand straight out and trying to balance it, it's actually pretty difficult, as you can see. But most people wouldn't think this, but holding it the opposite way and balancing it makes it a lot easier to balance. That is the balancing wand. This is experiment number 29, the balancing nails. 2 different objects. We have a cork and we've got 11 common nails. These are about 2.5 inches. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of the nails and stick it right into the middle of the cork. That's got to be pretty straight. Okay? Then what we'll do is we'll take these other nails and we'll attempt to balance them onto that nail. The way to do it is this, is to form a pattern where all the nails are crisscrossed to each other going down the bottom nail. As it turns out, there'll be 4 nails on each side of the bottom nail, and then the other nail will kind of complete it and make like a little spider web, really, okay? One of the tougher things to do is just trying to pick this up, but all of these nails now, these 10 nails, are all sort of working together. So the object is to try to get all these nails right on the tip here. And you have to kind of feel for it a little bit. And there's the balancing nails. This is experiment number 30. It's called Marble in the Bottle. We're using 3 different materials. We're using an index card, a regular size marble, and a bottle. Now this is an 8-ounce bottle, but really it could be any size bottle. The object of this game is to place the card on the top of the bottle and then the marble on top of that. Then what's going to happen is this. You have to take one finger and try to get this marble to fall into the bottle just by using one finger. Now, there are a lot of ways to try this, but the actual way to do it is to hit this card very, very quickly. Inertia will take place. The marble should just fall right down into the bottle. Let's see. That's the marble in the bottle. This experiment, number 31, we call it Balancing Bob or Betty. We have here about 1.5 feet of just steel wire. It's very flexible. We have a pencil. We have a popsicle stick. Now this popsicle stick is a craft stick where there's little grooves in it. We also have these 2 washers. Now, here's how we're going to do it. We're going to take the steel wire. We're going to bend it in half like this. Then we're going to place it on the stick, have it balance, push this together, and then hold the wire down on the stick and attempt to wrap it around 2 times. Once this way and once the opposite way. Now, it will look like this. At this point in time, we're going to make a little hook on each side. To balance off each side, we are going to make sure that the hook are pretty much equal to each other, or the sides are equal to each other. So we're going to take this washer, going to place one washer right here, another washer right here, squeeze them together, and we call this Balancing Bob or Betty because what we're going to do is on the top of the stick, we are going to make a little face. I'll show you in a moment here. Just an eyes and nose and a little mouth. And so here is the face of a Bob or Betty, and we're going to attempt to balance this on our finger. So, but depending upon how it's moving, how it's placed on your finger, it not only can balance on your finger, but it can basically balance on anything. We can put it on this pencil, for example. We can put it on a bottle. We can really put it on anything. So, we can even get this to sort of sleep on your finger. Move the wires a little bit, and it can sleep on your finger. That's Balancing Bob and Betty. This is experiment number 32. It's called the Eiffel Tower. Now, what each group, it's a kind of a group game, although you can do it individually also, is you just need a bunch of different cups. The cups here are 7-ounce cups, but you can use any size for the most part. Here we have maybe 25 cups. The object is to make this into a tower that sort of looks like the Eiffel Tower. Now, that would be sort of like an A shape, A frame, and the object of this little game, and again, it works great in groups too, is to try to get this to have as many rows as possible. Now, if you want to use, 150 cups or 200 cups, you can make huge, huge towers. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. And if they fall down, you just put them back together again, and you give yourself maybe a few minutes to try it, and just see how much you can build this. So these are called the Eiffel Tower cups. This is experiment number 33. It's called the paper bridge. What you need is a piece of paper, 2 cups, a weight. Now this weight right here is about ½ pound actually. So really what you're going to do is this. You're going to take this paper, you're going to balance this over these 2 cups. Now the object really is to have a little bit of the cups showing on either side. And you have to do it the long way of the paper, not the short way. So the long paper glides like this. You're going to take this weight and then you're going to attempt to balance this on the paper. Now it's not going to work that way. You're going to have to do something to the paper. So what you need to do is this. Put this over here, and instead of the straight paper, you are going to make the paper into a fan and put the fan over the 2 cups. This is a very strong surface. When I put the weight over it, it will easily hold it. The paper bridge. Next experiment, number 34, is called the elbow trick. Really simply, all you need are a few pennies. So have 2 pennies right here. What you're going to be doing is this. You're going to roll up your sleeves if you have a long sleeve shirt on. And then you are going to place 1 penny on the edge of your elbow like this. Now, you are going to attempt to very quickly bring your hand down, and as you bring your hand down, you're going to attempt to catch the penny in midair. So let's watch this. Here's the penny. Now, if you get really good at it, you can start stacking lots and lots of pennies. So I'll put these 2 pennies on top of my elbow and attempt to do it again, and there are the 2 pennies. This is called the elbow trick. This experiment, number 36, is called paper rockets. What you'll need is some tape. We're going to make 7 or 8 small pieces of tape about 1 inch long, a pair of scissors. This is a 1 inch by 8 inch piece of paper, and then some very small, 3 actually, small little pieces of paper, 1 inch probably by about 1/2 inch. We also need a straw and a pencil. Now, what's going to happen is you're going to be wrapping this around the pencil and just keep wrapping it around all the way around. And by the time you reach the bottom, you're going to tape it so that it becomes a tube. So you're going to tape it in 4 or 5 locations and make a tube out of that. Now, you'll simply slide it off the pencil. I'll put this down below here. And then with this tube, you'll place several pieces of small paper. And this is a rocket. We call it a paper rocket. And so you can just fold them in different ways. You can do side to side. You can make them look pointy at the end like a regular rocket might. And just with a piece of tape, 3 pieces of tape to attach these small pieces on the bottom. Now, what happens is there's a hole in one end and this other side has been taped. So this is what happens. It's a paper rocket. We're going to attach a straw in here, and the game is to try to figure out, or just attempt to, blow it as far as you possibly can. So we'll go right like this, and this is the paper rocket. This is experiment number 37. It's called the balancing yardstick. And really all you need is a yardstick. If knowing that it's 36 inches long and 18 inches is the halfway mark, you can make a little mark right there with a pencil. Now, take your fingers and place them on both sides of that mark, that middle mark. The cool thing is that no matter how you move your fingers, they'll always come to the 18-inch mark. So you can start one here and one here, and to really balance this, your fingers just move on their own. And you can see that all of a sudden, you can even close your eyes and do it, and it will be right at the 18-inch mark. So you can start together at the same spot away from the 18-inch mark, or one could be right like this. So I have mine at the 20 and the 1. Now, the only way to balance this, my other hand doesn't move, this one moves, but as soon as I get to that probably like 16-inch mark, it's going to start to move. And right about here, and just about the 18-inch mark. No matter how you do it, it will balance. And this is the balancing yardstick. This is called the Rooster Cup, and it's experiment number 38. What we have here is a 7-ounce plastic cup, but again, it can be made of plastic, wood, tin, anything. I also have a hole in the bottom of that cup. I have a little bead, a pony bead, a small piece of sponge that's been cut up, a little cup of water, and also some string. This right here is dental floss, but you can use any kind of string. So what's going to happen is you're going to take the dental floss, you're going to string it into the bead, make 2 knots out of it, right onto the bead, and there is 1, and then there is 2, and like I said, this is called the rooster cup. Some people call it the duck cup too. But all I'm going to do is now take this side of the string, place it into the cup, and the smaller the hole, the better actually. So I'm going to string that right through, and I'll pull it through the other side. And then I'll just, really just about the last thing, is I have to make 2 knots around the sponge. There's 1 knot, kind of pull it, might look like a bow tie, and then the other knot, and then we're just about finished. Now, what it will look like, the rooster cup, is something that looks like this, almost looks like a bell. We're going to place this sponge in this water, dip it in, get rid of all the excess water, and then what's going to happen is this. We're going to squeeze in half the sponge and grab the string right about here, okay? Holding the cup with your hand straight up, let's hear a little rooster sound. And that is the rooster cup. This is experiment number 39. It's called the duck call. Now, you just need a straight edge straw and a pair of scissors. What's going to happen is, the first start of this is to cut at an angle the top of the straw. One side, and then the second side. Let's do this a little bit closer here. Fine. Pull this apart, and you have like a little V at the top. We're going to try to squeeze the V down and push it down a little bit. Now this part takes a little bit of practice. This next part takes a little bit of practice. And you're going to place it in your mouth and blow with your lips sort of inward. And you should have some kind of a sound to it. Now, when I get that sound, we're going to take the scissors and start cutting the straw towards your mouth, okay? Not all the way, but at some point. So you'll hear the pitch go up as the air kind of goes into the straw. And that's the duck call. This is experiment number 42. It's called the ocean wave. Now, really we just have 1 bottle of materials. Inside the bottle, and again, this is just a clear bottle, but you can really use almost any type of bottle. Inside this bottle right here, there is water, blue food coloring, and oil. We actually use baby oil because it's very, very clear. So the food coloring kind of works with the water and blends with the water, and the oil stays above because it's less dense. And this is really the ocean wave. When you do it side to side, it looks like an ocean wave. And besides an ocean wave, if you mix the bottle up a little bit and give it some bubbles, if you know what a lava lamp is, by just turning it over, it appears to look just like how a lava lamp would work. Eventually, after a minute or two, all the water bubbles will come down to the water section, and you can go back to an ocean wave. So, ocean wave. This is experiment number 43. It's called the Little Twister. We use a lot of these bottles but you can really use any type of bottle. It's an 8-ounce clear bottle. Inside the bottle it's filled completely with water and then a few other ingredients. A little bit of salt, actually just a pinch of salt. There is 1 drop of soap, liquid soap, salt, and in this bottle we have glitter too, but you don't need to use glitter. And really what's going to happen is this. When you shake all these ingredients together, side to side, or in a circle pattern, you will get this cool little twister made right in the bottle. And this lasts forever. We'll always make this little twister. So that is the little twister. This experiment, number 44, is called the leak-proof bag. We have a number of sharpened pencils. You can have 5, 10, 15, whatever you'd like. We have a Ziploc bag which we just filled with water. So it's pretty heavy. Make sure it's zipped all the way. Now we're also going to need a container just in case this leaks. So I have this fish tank right here. And what's going to happen is this. I'm going to put this over, you can do this over a trash barrel and so forth. But sharp pencils are best. So we call it leak-proof bag. We're going to put all of these in, as many as we can, just a few actually. And we'll just put 1 more in. And so, look how it works. And that is the leak-proof bag. This is experiment number 47, called the Screaming Penny and Nuts. Here's what you need. We have a simple balloon. It can be any size and basically any color. We have a penny and a nut. You can use as many nuts or as many pennies as you'd like. So what's going to happen is this. We're going to put a penny into the balloon. We're going to put a nut into the balloon. Okay? And we're going to blow the balloon up. Now, you can tie the balloon, and we will tie the balloon right now, but you don't have to tie the balloon off. Now, as you rotate this balloon in your hand, both the penny and the nut are going to work their little magic around, and they're going to make a really cool sound. So, they rotate inside the balloon. Sometimes they hit each other. And those is the screaming nut and penny. This is experiment number 48. It's called the Color Challenge. Now, what do you think you'd be able to do better and faster? Do you think you would be able to read words on a piece of paper, and the words are just names of colors? Or do you think you'd be able to basically read faster blotches of colors on another piece of paper? Well, it's kind of a trick a little bit, but we have one person try to read all of these words as quickly as they can. It may take them about a half a minute or so, and that's a pretty good time. Now what they do, and they're not really blotches, but the trick is that all of these words, more or less the same as the first page, but these ones right here, it says the word red, but there's a purple color on it. It says the word green, but there's a brown color. So the illusion is that it's going to be easy to just read these through, or just say the colors through, but it is very, very difficult. So they, mix them up, and it's hard when you're trying to read them fast. So this is the color challenge, trying to be able to say these very quickly without making a mistake. It's very easy to say these without a mistake, but this is the color challenge. This is experiment number 49. We call it the singing hangers. So all we really have is a metal hanger and 2 pieces of string. We use dental floss, but you can use string. And they're about 2 feet long on both sides, tied at the end of each side of the metal hanger. What we're going to do is this. We're going to place it on the table. We're going to take one of the strings and we're going to squeeze the string with our thumb and our pointer finger. Then all we're going to do is we're going to wrap this around the pointer finger a couple of times and hold it like this with the thumb. We are also going to do the other side with the other hand. So we'll squeeze it together, wrap this around a few times, and here's what we have. Okay? So basically what happens is this. We are then going to, and I know this is going to look a little weird, but we're going to put our fingers into our ears, put them in, you don't really crush them, but just put them in so you really can't see here too much around you. And then we're going to go over to really any surface. Could be plastic, could be metal, and we're going to bang this metal hanger against it. All right? So as you bang it, you will hear a very, very loud sound that sounds like something singing, or actually even like something like church bells. It's a very, very loud noise. So those are the singing hangers. This is experiment number 50. It's called the magic sand wand. And as we get closer, what we have here is a small bottle. It could really be almost any type of bottle. It could be a water bottle. And we filled it up with either sand or salt. Now, it really could be any kind of gritty material. We shut it up, we close up the top, and we also put a little marble on the top. Now, the object of this is to take the marble and just really get it to the other side. So kids will shake it, and they will do all kinds of things, and they'll move it around. And basically how we attempt to get this here to here is we tip it out upside down, and we shake it upwards. Within a matter of about 10 seconds or so, we're going to get the marble to appear on the other side. And this is the magic sand wand.